Okay, so here's our sine quiz. We're going to go over how to do sine before we start into the cosine lesson. So let's question number 1, 4 decimals. Simply take out your calculator. Ones that work on the new system, okay, you will just type in as they see it, which is sine 26 degrees. Sine 26 equals, and then go to 4 decimals. Just truncate, don't bother rounding. So the answer is 0.4383. Okay, good enough. That's it. Next one, angles. So for angles, you're going to go to whole numbers. So first thing you're going to do is label your HOA, H-O-A. So this is your hypotenuse, this is your opposite, this is your adjacent. And so you have to have sine A equals opposite over adjacent hypotenuse. So 5 over 12, you absolutely must have something in this location. Then you move sine to the other side, it becomes the opposite, which is sine -1. 5 over 12 should be in brackets because you need to do that first before you take sine -1. So for me, newer calculator here, I'm going to go second function, sine -1. 5 divided by 12, close that off, equals 24.6. So round to whole number, 25 degrees. All right, 24.6 rounded. There we go. Got to have everything exactly as I have it. When I'm marking this, this is 1 mark, this is 2 marks, that's 3 marks. Next question, label your HOA. So I have 33 degrees as my angle of interest. This is your hypotenuse, it's across from 90 degrees. Across from the angle of interest is the opposite. So I will write down for my work, sine 33 degrees equals opposite over hypotenuse, which is x over 25. Now some people are doing a double flip. Don't. Just instead of dividing by 25, bring it up and times it by 25. So I'm using multiplication brackets so I don't get confused with my letter x. And now I can type it in as I see it. 25 times sine 33 equals 13.6. For marking purposes, 1, 2, 3. And maybe I'll write them on the other side. 1, 2, 3. If you have an old calculator or old school, even some brand new calculators work on the old system, I would go 25 times 33, then I'd press sine. Now that's just sine 33 on my screen. I actually have to press equals in order to do the multiplication. So I'm pressing equals. Now the multiplication is done, 13.6. And the last question, label your HOA. So here's my angle of interest. This would be my hypotenuse. This would be my opposite. This would be my adjacent. Okay. And so I'm going to say sine 18 degrees, you must have something there, equals opposite 56.3 over x. Now you'll notice nothing disappears or reappears. Everything happens for a reason. So the reason is, instead of dividing by x, I multiply by x. Then, instead of multiplying by sine 18, this is what I want to move. So the opposite of multiplying by that is dividing by that. So it'll be 56.3 divided by sine 18 degrees. And then I go to my calculator. On an old school calculator, I will go 56.3 divided by 18 sine. Now that's just sine 18 on my screen. I have to press equals in order to do the division. So I complete the division by pressing equals, 182.2. So I round to 1 decimal place. Okay, and that's generally ratios. If I want the decimal ratios, there are 4 decimals. Angles will be whole numbers, and missing sides will usually be 1 decimal. All right, that's kind of our go-to standard. Different textbooks are different, but for me, that's exactly what I want in quizzes and tests. For marking this question, 1, 2, 3. This work is optional. Totally encourage it because it really explains what you're doing. But I'm not fighting with lazy Math 9 students. If you don't write it, that's fine. Whatevs. Okay. There you go. There's the quiz. Next one will be the cosine ratio coming up. Once I pause this sucker, which I don't seem to be able to do. There we go.